Colin Cowherd didn't seem to enjoy what was happening with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Said, for one, and I'll just list off his excuses on why this was a bad deal. And again, you should go watch the clip because it's tough. It's definitely tough to get how bad it was. Donnie watched it 4 minutes before the show and was just like, do I have to keep going? I was like, yeah, you have to watch till the end because it just keeps getting worse. Yep. Again, these were the excuses. One, a safety isn't worth that much money. Okay. Two, the Pittsburgh Steelers have not won a Super Bowl in, 10 years now?
It's okay. 17. Actually, no, not like 15.
No, 10 years. 12 years. 2010.
They haven't won one since 2008. They went to the Super Bowl in 2010.
Oh, 2010 was the Packers. I thought 2012 was the Packers. 2010 was Arizona. Okay, so 14 years? Haven't won a Super Bowl in 14 years. Everybody keeps celebrating Mike Tomlin's winning records as if that's a big then compares the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base to the Cleveland Browns and says that celebrating winning records is a Cleveland Browns type thing. Okay. Continues to say that the Pittsburgh Steelers had a Hall of Fame quarterback, but they didn't pay their offense, and they have the NFL's highest paid defense, lowest paid offense. Those were his big reasons behind him. Let's go just one at a time here. We'll start right at the top. The Pittsburgh Steelers, or Minkah Fitzpatrick, is not worth this money. Who is? Because Minkah's going to start here. And anybody who thinks that this is the end, that Minkah is just going to remain the highest paid safety in NFL history, you're lying to everybody and yourself. Jesse Bates and Derwin James are going to smoke this before the end of the summer. By week one of the regular season, both of these guys will have contracts higher than Minkah Fitzpatrick's. And in different ways. And Minkah's will still be very impressive, but there's no way he walks into week one as the highest paid safety in the NFL. So I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but in my head, so you're just telling me that safety should just stop being paid and we should just let every one of them go hit free agency and say, no, never mind, you guys are done because you're too good. You're too good to pay.
It's not like there's a wild discrepancy when it comes to the safeties, too. Like, if you approached me as the Steelers general manager and you were like, hey, you want to keep Minkah here long-term, all you got to do is pay him $1 million more per year on average than Jamal Adams. I wouldn't even think twice about that. I'm sure Omar Khan did not even think twice about that.
No. That's why it's June 16th. The deal got done yesterday. TJ Watts didn't get done until pretty much week one. Mm-hmm. And we're asking why. Do you want to know why? Because the market wasn't crazy. Because Minkah wasn't asking for $20+ million. He was asking for $1 million more than what the top guy gets paid right now because he's $1 million better than what the top guy is. Easy. Dumb. Part two. We're Steelers fans and the Steelers are just celebrating, which I don't think there's a single person in the Steelers locker room that is walking around like, yeah, man, we keep getting winning records. We're so good. Mike Tomlin is the best, man. Like, no, I don't think one person's doing that. But the fan base, and rightfully so, I believe, continues to celebrate winning seasons. And I don't even think they're celebrating winning seasons. I don't think any fan is walking around going, yeah, man, well, we haven't had a losing season in 15 years. You know, the only people talking about it? The media, Colin Cowherd. And $10 says that if they walk out of this season again as winners and something drastic happens, like say Chris Oladokun has to start the last 8 games of the season for some drastic chain of events. $10 says Colin Cowherd. There we go. Finishes his season by saying that Mike Tomlin is a great coach because he took this team to a winning record. I bet you can find the receipts where he says that himself. But now that can't be celebrated. And on top of that, the Steelers haven't won a Super Bowl in 14 years, so they're wrong. Let me ask this, Donnie. Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers' chances of winning a Super Bowl increase if they didn't pay Minkah Fitzpatrick?
No.
Let me ask you this. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers' chances of a losing season increase if they do not pay Minkah Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do Super Bowl winning teams usually win with not great players, with bad players?
Can't say they do.
Let me ask you this
Can't
one.
say
If you're
they do.
building an NFL team to go win a Super Bowl, are you looking for not the best players?
I looked at great defensive players win a Super Bowl this year for the Los Angeles Rams. I looked at great defensive players shut down Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few years back. You can go through the last 10 to 15 years of Super Bowl winners and find elite talent pretty much scattered in every Super Bowl winning roster. I have no problem with it. And to Carl's point in the chat, how often does any team win a Super Bowl? Like, I think for the standard in Pittsburgh, which will always be winning a Super Bowl every single year, no matter what it is, there's always an expectation to win a Super Bowl. I think you also have to take into reality that winning a Super Bowl is tough.
Hard.
Winning a Super Bowl is extremely hard. Bill Cowher, a perennial favorite in Pittsburgh for very good reason, struggled to do that until the very end of his career.
Yep.
The very end of his career.
That's it. Unless you're Tom Brady, chances are you are not making multiple Super Bowls in your career. Now, Tom Brady's the exception, obviously. Which kind of leads to the next point of Colin Cowherd, who just added this too, but that Ben was there, but, they couldn't get anything done. And I think that was in reference to because the defense wasn't good enough, but they're still going to pay the defense. I don't know. The last time I checked, a defense is made up of more than two players. And if TJ Watt is deserving of that money because he's an all-pro and a phenomenal football player, Minkah Fitzpatrick's probably deserving of that money too because he's an all-pro and a phenomenal football player. The rest of the guys around them just haven't always been that great. So that one doesn't make any sense.
This team is not the Jaguars. They are not going to hand money to anybody. If they earned the NFL's highest paid defensive honors, probably for a good reason.
Yeah.
Probably for a good reason.
That's why we're going to get into this next, but that's why we're going to talk about Deontay Johnson. That's why we're going to talk about Chris Boswell and the future of this team, because the Pittsburgh Steelers have a rule. You don't make money unless you're a special player. That's what they say. Straight out of Mike Tomlin's mouth, straight out of Kevin Colbert's mouth, straight out of Art Rooney's mouth. A special player. If you get signed in Pittsburgh, you're a special player. When was the last time that somebody in Pittsburgh got a big deal and didn't pan out? I can't think of one.
After they got a big deal, because they paid Lamar Woodley after he had a few good years, and then he just did not live up to the hype.
True. Lamar did fall off, but he didn't he did fall off.
Yeah.
Lamar's was rough. But nobody saw Lamar's coming. I think Lamar just fell off. I don't know.
Oh, dude, no, but he was on track to become a great outside linebacker for them. I mean, you look at the years he had opposite of James Harrison on those late 2000s defenses. I mean, he was an animal, dude.
Yeah, I know. Lamar is a good one. But outside of Lamar, not many. Definitely not many. You could go through, in Mike Tomlin's tenure alone, he might be the only one that didn't work out when it comes to those bigger deals. Lamar was a big deal. I forgot about Lamar Woodley, man. He should have been something crazy. Mm-hmm. He definitely should have been something crazy. But it's still a good example that if there's one, that's way better than 10. And to your example of the Steelers aren't the Jaguars, they're not the Jaguars. They're only going to hand players money if they believe that they're all pros. Minkah Fitzpatrick has already proven to be an all pro. And last year was TJ Watt busting down the door of Art Rooney's office saying, "What's your final offer? Deal. Let's get it done. I'm going to pump some iron. Let's get on the football field." And now it's Minkah Fitzpatrick saying, "Look it, dude, I just want to get this done so I can participate in training camp because I want to play football." Like, these aren't guys looking for money. Minkah said it himself. I think I deserve to be paid as the highest paid safety in the NFL because I think that I'm the best safety in the NFL. If that was somebody saying I want $15 million more than the guy below me, that's one thing. But Minkah, all he was saying was, dude, the market's going to increase. I understand that. My agent understands that. You understand that. Let's make me the highest paid safety so that in 3 weeks, I'm not the highest paid safety anymore, but it still looks really good for me. I still feel really good about it. I think it worked out totally fine. All right. To keep this trucking on the Colin Cowherd train here. What did we go through? We went through don't pay your defensive guys. Haven't won a Super Bowl in 14 years. Minkah's not worth the money. And the final one was the offense is the 31st lowest paid offense in the NFL. Meanwhile, the Steelers defense is the highest paid defense in the NFL, and they haven't done anything about it. Like, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time.
That's what happens when you get Big Ben's ginormous cap hit that you've been pushing back all throughout the years. That's what happens when you offload that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what happens when you offload that and you don't have any superstar talent that you have paid.
That's exactly. That's the biggest thing there is on paper, it's the lowest paid offense in the NFL. In real life, it's Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Chase Claypool, Pat Freiermuth, Calvin Austin, Zach Gentry. Developing offensive line with some young talent like James Daniels, hopefully Kevin Dotson, a lot of those guys. Mitchell Trubisky, new quarterback in Kenny Pickett. A lot of guys. The entire offense is on their first NFL contract. So yeah, of course they're going to be new. They just rebuilt the whole offense. You have to do that when in the last 5 years, Ramon Foster, Al Villanueva, Matt Filer, Marquise Pouncey, Vance McDonald, Antonio Brown, David DeCastro, Ben Roethlisberger all leave. When everybody you had is gone, your only options are to just suck, sign everybody imaginable on free agency, or go get some stars in the draft. And the Steelers have done a damn good job of getting some stars in the draft. So that one just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you have the money, if you don't have a quarterback contract, you can do whatever you want in the NFL. Steelers don't have a quarterback contract. Why would you not go pay everybody else? That doesn't make any sense.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I couldn't have said it better.
I think that's the end of the conversation. There's a lot of hate, all on rookie contracts. Every one of them on rookie contracts.